Let's head into the morning newscast with the latest coming in on coronavirus. As scared and exposed, the deadly novel coronavirus has now claimed over 2,233 lives. China is grappling to contain this outbreak, but data mistrust is increasing. Beijing has yet again changed the coronavirus counting method, and the number of COVID-19 cases in Hubei province has dropped sharply after China yet again changed the way it officially reports the number of infections. Today, Hubei, in its daily tally, confirmed 115 new virus deaths. There are more than 75,000 confirmed cases around the world now. This is the second revision in a month. The changes are feeding growing suspicion over official data from China. No official explanation has been given for the sudden decline in figures. However, the sharp drop in numbers comes a day after new national guidelines advise the province to only report two numbers in its overall count, which is confirmed and suspected cases. So what's going on with China's coronavirus case and death numbers? This is not the first time that China has changed its counting methodology. Prior to this, on February 13th, China reported a drop in the number of new cases of the deadly coronavirus. Hopes were raised that the outbreak might be slowing down. But a day later, Hubei abruptly announced that there had been nearly 15,000 new cases overnight. The government then pointed out that the outbreak did not suddenly get this worse. The authorities simply changed the way they reported cases in order to allow more people to access treatment faster. Questions are now compounding on China's counting method, the shifting classification guidelines, the lack of clarity, and yet another recalculation of the contours of crisis. So can the world rely on the numbers coming out of China? That's the big question we're exploring. And hundreds of Pakistani students have been stuck for weeks in Wuhan. Pakistan has refused to evacuate them, but considers it enough to have only two embassy officials attempt to calm over 1,000 panic-stricken students stranded across campuses in the epicenter of the deadly COVID-19. Parents have been pleading to the Pakistani government to have children flown back home. And yesterday, the government's attempts to placate angry parents of students stuck in Wuhan also turned into an embarrassing affair as parents cornered the health minister over government inaction. But the Ministry of External Affairs of Pakistan has refused to even mull the idea of an evacuation, instead deems appropriate to deploy two officials to merely offer lip service to the concerns of stranded Pakistanis in Wuhan.
As you are also aware, a special task force comprising two officers of our mission in Beijing have been deployed to Wuhan city for the purpose of evaluating the situation, the welfare, safety of all students in Wuhan, our students. They have visited 7 universities so far and individually met every student in each of those 7 universities.
And so is Pakistan refusing an evacuation so as not to embarrass its powerful ally China? Is the country's close relationship and dependence on China greater than the welfare of thousands of its youth? Now, WION was the first Indian network to bring you all the stories about the stranded Pakistani students in Wuhan. Their voices remain unheard still and appeals ignored. And now we are once again bringing you their pleas for help and SOS messages. These are the voices that Imran Khan has chosen to ignore for the sake of Chinese loans.
हमें 14 दिन तक आइसोलेशन के नाम पर मौत के मुंह में धकेला जा रहा है। गरीब से गरीब तर आवाम अपने बच्चों को ले जा चुकी है। हम मर रहे हैं, हम मर जाएंगे। हमारा खून पाकिस्तान की गवर्नमेंट और पाकिस्तानी कौम के हाथों होगा। हम याद रखिएगा, हमारी डेड बॉडीज भी आपको नहीं मिलेंगी। गवर्नमेंट है वो कह रही है कि 3 टाइम का।
One of the many helpless cries of a Pakistani citizen.
गवर्नमेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान से सिर्फ ये अपील है कि जितना जल्दी हो सके हमें यहाँ से रेस्क्यू किया जाए।
More than 1,000 of them remain stranded in China.
ये आ गई है वेजिटेबल मार्केट
Several governments were quick to evacuate their citizens in the early days of the outbreak.
ये इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स हैं और ये बस इनको यहाँ से लेने आई है जो इनकी एम्बेसी की तरफ से.
Pakistan was not one of them. Pakistan has refused to take its citizens out of China.
यहाँ के हालात मीडिया पे जितने दिखाए जा रहे हैं उससे बहुत ज्यादा खराब हैं। मुझे समझ नहीं आता पाकिस्तान गवर्नमेंट किस चीज का वेट कर रही है। कोई मर जाएगा तो फिर आकर हमें वो यहाँ से ले जाएंगे।
As the students continue to struggle to return home, their parents are appealing to the Imran Khan government for help. They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. This one aptly describes the situation at hand. A Pakistani parent is pleading with Health Minister Dr. Zafar Mirza. An inconsiderate Dr. Mirza replies with a smile. With no help in sight, some students are recording video messages to register an appeal.
प्लीज हमें जल्द से जल्द यहाँ से रेस्क्यू किया जाए।
पाकिस्तान गवर्नमेंट किस चीज का वेट कर रही है?
हमारे साथ यहाँ पर काफी सारे पाकिस्तानी मौजूद हैं। एटलीस्ट 300 से ज्यादा पाकिस्तानी हम लोगों के साथ यहाँ मौजूद है। हमारी सारिम बर्नी ट्रस्ट के बिहाफ पर पाकिस्तान गवर्नमेंट से ये अपील है कि प्लीज यहाँ से रेस्क्यू किया जाए, क्योंकि हम लोग यहाँ पर मेंटली टॉर्चर हो रहे हैं। ज्यादा हम यहाँ पर वेट नहीं कर सकते।
The Pakistani citizens stranded in Wuhan are unsatisfied with their government's response. Islamabad has deployed 2 officials in Wuhan. It's a task force that is supposed to assist the students. But the citizens don't want anything less than an evacuation.
हम पाकिस्तान की गरीब आवाम के औलाद हैं, इसलिए हमें कोई रेस्क्यू नहीं दिया जा रहा। अब हम अगर किसी मिनिस्टर की औलाद होते या किसी ब्यूरोक्रेट की औलाद होते तो अब तक हम अपने अपने घर पहुंच चुके होते।
हमारी भी हुकूमत से यही पुरजोर अपील है कि जिस तरह बांग्लादेश की गवर्नमेंट, इंडोनेशिया की गवर्नमेंट और इसी तरह दूसरे मुल्कों की गवर्नमेंट हमारी आंखों के सामने यंगजी यूनिवर्सिटी से ही अपने तलबा को एयरलिफ्ट करके अपने मुल्क में क्वारंटाइन में रखा हुआ है। हम भी वही चाहते हैं कि वही प्रोसीजर हमारी हुकूमत भी फॉलो करे और हमें यहाँ से निकाल के लेके जाए।
A few weeks ago, the Indian government had thrown a lifeline to the stranded citizens. New Delhi had said that it can consider evacuating Pakistani citizens if Islamabad makes a request. But the Imran Khan government simply ignored the offer of help. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.